Chris Evans just left Top Gear. So as you know, Chris Evans for this series joined Top Gear and they recorded a lot of films, and I assume there's actually a lot more films with him involved in them, but he's decided to up and leave. Like, just like that. He put out a tweet saying stepping down from Top Gear, gave it my best shot, but sometimes that's not enough. The team are beyond brilliant and wish them all the best. Chris, what happened to your tweets a few weeks ago when you were saying how the Top Gear series is like the most successful launch fact and it's gaining viewers for all this bloody... What happened to that, Chris, eh? What happened to that? Cracked my finger while saying that. But seriously, props to the man. Props to the man for doing this. He just didn't fit, and he could see that he couldn't fit. He didn't actually say anything beyond that statement there, but he'd said a week ago to the Top Gear cast that he was going to leave. Now, there's a whole lot of things this could have been. It could have been that maybe he didn't feel he fit. Maybe people tweeting him saying, mate, you're shit, like a lot of people clearly did. That maybe threw him off and thought, oh, I shouldn't probably be doing this. I am not Clarkson. Well, you're not, mate. If you stopped trying to act like him and acting like yourself, you might, well, it works. Honestly, as you did the parts later on in the series, like middle of the series, this can't believe it was a series. It felt like about 2 episodes, honestly. You did feel halfway through to be getting your point in it. You know, there were a few things that was so cringy, like the water splash, yay! Things like that, but... honestly, you were getting somewhere. I expected him to leave, him or Matt, but I expect them to leave a little bit later than this because I'm pretty sure they had a contract signed for like a few series at least, not just one series and then he's up and out. It seems a little bit weird for many reasons, including the fact that why would you just... this is like the best job ever, I don't care. You notice that he was backing down as main presenter. He was, you know, they were all mixing in a lot more throughout the series. At the beginning, it felt a little bit more, and then it kind of became more mixed bag. Everybody had their own parts. Now, all the things it could have been, it might not have just been the fact that he was pretty shit at presenting the show and also acting on the show, because you've got to be good at 2 things on Top Gear, presenting and acting. You have to be good at both to be able to do a fantastic job at the show, which is what the other guys were really good at. You can tell a lot of the time they were acting and it was all preset and scripted, that sort of thing, but it just felt so natural and you kind of didn't have to think about that, whereas with you could really tell. It's probably the same with Matt, and all of them, honestly. You can tell it's very scripted still, but BBC. There's also things coming out, the fact that he may actually have fondled some people that he shouldn't have. You see, the problem with this kind of stuff is, like, it's always from one person that, you know, you may or may not trust, you don't know. I'm not saying he didn't do anything, but it could have possibly added to the reasons to why he left. Maybe people just made it up to get him out of the job. Maybe it is real. I don't know. I don't want to comment on it too much because I don't know exactly all the facts on it, but that's something that popped up. And there was also news articles floating around saying that if he doesn't leave, Matt LeBlanc was going to leave. And quite honestly, out of the 2, if I had a choice between which one I'd want to stay and leave, the choice has been made for me, honestly. Matt LeBlanc isn't great. He's a good actor, because as we know, he's been an actor all his bloody life. But as for Mr. Chris, he wasn't a good actor or presenter. Like, he's good on radio, as on TV and talking to a live audience. No, not so much. I think a lot of people will agree the best 2 presenters on the show, Chris Harris and Rory Reid. These 2 guys literally run the show for me. And when they were only on Extra Gear, I was like, well, why are these guys not on the main show? This is ridiculous. These should be the stars because these guys know what to do. These guys just give it more life as if it's, you know, they take the YouTube scene and put it on to Extra Gear. And that's what Extra Gear feels like to me. It's like an extra behind the scenes bonus video where they're vlogging behind the scenes. It's just really cool. And anything Rory and good Chris actually do, it's genuinely, well, really good. And there are still points in where Matt and the other guys, I don't know, they don't really click very well. Whereas I think Chris Harris and Rory Reid click quite well compared to everybody else. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that way. Either that or they're very good at acting. Probably both. I'm assuming that Chris Evans is not going to be the last to leave the show. I'm assuming they're going to slowly pick through and end up with the best ones. I have yet to see a thing in where I really enjoy how Sabine acts in the thing. I don't know what it is about her, but she just doesn't feel very enthusiastic. And everything she says enthusiastic, it seems very, very forced. And it seems like they've made many attempts to actually get that right. And it still sounds very forced. And then Eddie, or Barry Truckle, if you will, he's okay. But I don't know, his lines, again, he doesn't read them very well. And it sounds very scripted and it's not very good. But the worst guy has gone. The other guys can improve. He could have improved. Honestly, Chris Evans could have improved. I do feel bad for the guy in the fact that he did try. Who would turn down a job for Top Gear? Being the main presenter of Top Gear, would you say no? No, you wouldn't. And I'm pretty sure he wishes in a way he said no, but I'm pretty sure he's fine with the money that he got from it. But I gotta say, props to the guy for actually, tweeting out that message and listening to what people wanted, or whatever he did, I don't care. And listening to the fact that people didn't want him to be on the show, or seeing that he's brought the views down, or a combination of things. And honestly, it's going to take a while for them to build up that number no matter what anyway. It's dropped down. It's the end of the series. Normally numbers drop at the end of the series, but it dropped down because of the fact of the first episode, second episode. Those are the ones that people watch. And when they see that, they get an idea of what it's going to be like whole series. And obviously, they didn't like what they saw. And honestly, I've got to completely understand why. Episode 3 and 4 is where it probably peaked. That was the best points in my eyes. Again, I wouldn't have turned down the job. I just wish that the presenters would have, mixed it up a little bit and said, no, this is shit. We can't air this. We have to do something else. Most of it, honestly, the worst parts were actually... The films at the beginning were pretty bad, but they weren't as bad as the actual studio parts at the beginning. Later on, they became a lot more natural, and that's what I want to see progress. There's going to be another series just without Chris Evans. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Who's going to be the lead? Are they going to get rid of the lead altogether and just kind of have, a mix-in where some people will present it at the beginnings next one time? Are they going to have Matt LeBlanc as the main presenter? I don't know. There's a lot of questions to be answered. But one thing that's got me wondering is at the beginning, there's a lot of films that we didn't see. Like in the intro, you don't do that. You usually have all those things in actual film form throughout the series. Well... weirdly, a lot of them weren't actually used. So I'm assuming there's going to be some films that Chris Evans was in or was supposed to be in that we won't get to see. Or if we do see, it will be kind of awkward because he's not there as a presenter, but he'll be on some of the things. And I don't know. I do kind of feel bad for the guy, but he did what, well, anyone would do. Accepted it. Didn't work out too well. He left. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you happy? Are you excited? Did you like Chris Evans? Make sure to let me know. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.